What's up, everyone? Today we're diving into some of the most genuinely terrifying videos ever captured. I'm not even kidding. I've watched hundreds of scary videos for this, and these are the ones that actually made my skin crawl. We're talking about footage that will make you question everything you thought you knew about the world. These clips are so intense, so chilling, that I can almost guarantee you won't be getting a good night's sleep tonight. If you're the type of person who gets scared easily, you might want to click away right now. Seriously, this isn't a challenge, it's a genuine warning. For those of you who are brave enough to stick around, get ready. We've scoured the deepest, darkest corners of the internet to bring you 12 videos that defy explanation. From ghostly figures caught on security cameras to objects moving on their own, each clip is more unsettling than the last. The footage you're about to see is raw, unfiltered, and absolutely terrifying. I want you to watch closely, listen carefully, and try to find a rational explanation. I bet you won't be able to. So turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and prepare yourself. This is your final warning. Watch at your own risk. I'm not responsible for any nightmares, sleepless nights, or the sudden urge to sleep with every single light in your house on. If you're still here, you're either incredibly brave or incredibly foolish. Let's find out which one it is. Let's jump right into the first video. Our first video comes from a standard home security camera, the kind thousands of people have. But what this camera captured is anything but standard. The video starts normally, showing a quiet, empty living room in the middle of the night. The timestamp reads 3:14 a.m. Everything is still. Suddenly, in the corner of the room, a faint, almost transparent figure begins to form. It's not a trick of the light or a bug on the lens. It's a distinct human-like shape that materializes out of thin air. It hovers for a moment, eerily still, before slowly drifting across the room. As the ghostly figure moves, you can see the background through its translucent body. It glides past the couch and towards the kitchen doorway, its movements unnatural and silent. The family dog, which was sleeping soundly on its bed, suddenly jolts awake. It starts whimpering and barking frantically at the empty space where the figure just was. The homeowner reviewed the footage the next morning after noticing the dog's strange behavior, and what they found is something that would make anyone want to move out immediately. What could this possibly be? Next up, we have a group of urban explorers who decided to investigate a notoriously haunted abandoned hospital. They were filming their exploration for their channel, not expecting to capture anything truly paranormal. As they walk down a long, dark hallway, their flashlights cut through the thick dust and decay. The place is dead silent, except for their own footsteps and nervous breathing. One of them pans their camera across the peeling walls and broken equipment, and that's when they capture it. For just a split second, a tall, dark shadow figure darts across the end of the hallway. They all freeze. "Did you see that?" one of them whispers, their voice trembling. They slowly approach the area where the shadow disappeared, but there's nothing there. It's a dead end with no doors or windows for anyone or anything to have gone through. They rewind the footage on their camera, and their terrified reactions say it all. The shadow they captured was not their own. It was darker, faster, and moved with a purpose that is absolutely bone-chilling. They left the hospital immediately after, and who can blame them? Get ready for this one, because it taps into a classic fear. This video was set up by a woman who suspected her old porcelain doll was, well, haunted. She had noticed it in different positions from where she left it, so she set up a camera on a tripod, focused directly on the doll sitting in a small wooden chair. She leaves the room, and for the first few minutes, nothing happens. The doll, with its cracked face and glassy eyes, just sits there staring blankly. You start to think maybe it's all in her head, but then it happens. The doll's head, ever so slowly, begins to turn. It's not a sudden movement. It's a deliberate, creepy turn to its left, as if it's looking at something just out of frame. The movement is smooth and unnatural for an inanimate object. A few seconds later, its tiny hand lifts slightly, then drops back down onto its lap. There are no strings, no wind, no vibrations in the room. The footage is continuous, with no cuts or edits. It's just a doll in an empty room, moving all by itself. So, this next clip was recorded by a couple camping deep in a remote forest, like miles away from civilization. They were woken up in the middle of the night by a sound they just couldn't identify. Grabbing their camera, they unzipped their tent and started filming into the pitch-black woods. At first, all you can really hear is the wind and the crickets, you know? Then, suddenly, a blood-curdling scream echoes through the trees. It doesn't sound human, but honestly, it doesn't sound like any animal they've ever heard either. It's this sound of pure agony and terror. As they're trying to figure out where the scream came from, these strange lights begin to flicker between the trees. They're not flashlights or car headlights or anything like that. They're like multicolored orbs of light, dancing and weaving through the forest at, impossible speeds. The campers are whispering in terror, completely baffled and scared out of their minds. The screams get louder and closer, and the lights start moving towards their tent. The video just cuts out abruptly as they scramble to get back inside, leaving us, well, totally wondering what happened next. Imagine you're home alone and this starts happening. This footage is from a kitchen security camera, and it starts with a completely normal scene. The kitchen is clean, empty, and quiet. Then, a cabinet door on the far wall slowly swings open on its own. A moment later, a glass sitting on the counter slides a few inches. You might think it's just a draft or a vibration or something, but then all hell breaks loose. A coffee mug suddenly flies off a hook and smashes on the floor. A stack of plates rattles violently before one slides off the top and shatters. The chaos totally escalates. Utensils are thrown from a container on the counter, clattering across the room. The cabinet doors start slamming open and shut with, incredible force. It's almost like an invisible, angry child is having a temper tantrum or something. Throughout the entire event, there is no one visible in the kitchen. The footage is crystal clear, and you can see every corner of the room. This isn't just a few strange occurrences, it's a full-blown, violent poltergeist attack caught on camera. Dash cams have captured some crazy things, but this one is on another level. A man was driving down a deserted country road late at night. His dash cam is recording the dark, empty road ahead, illuminated only by his headlights. It's already a pretty spooky drive, with dense woods lining both sides of the road. Suddenly, a figure appears in the middle of the road, seemingly out of nowhere. It's tall and slender, and it's just standing there, completely still, facing the car. The driver slams on his brakes, swerving to avoid hitting it. As the car screeches to a halt, the headlights fully illuminate the figure for a split second. It's really hard to make out any features, it just looks like a dark humanoid shape. But here's the craziest part. As the driver stops the car and looks back, the figure is gone. It didn't run into the woods or duck out of sight, it just vanished into thin air. The dashcam footage clearly shows it there 1 second and gone the next. Okay, so this next video is short, but honestly, it'll stick with you long after you've seen it. So here's what happened. A teenager was home alone, just filming a video for their friends in their living room. They're talking to the camera, and there's this huge window behind them that looks out into their backyard, which is totally dark. As they're chatting, they pan the camera around the room, and just for a split second, the camera points at the window. And that's when you see it. Peeking in from the side of the window is a face. It's like this pale, distorted face with these big, dark eyes and a wide, super unnatural smile. It's only there for a second or two before the camera moves away, but you can't miss it. The wild part? The teenager doesn't even notice it at the time and just keeps making their video. It was only when they watched it back later that they saw that terrifying face staring in at them. They checked. No one was in the backyard, and that window is on the second story of the house. So yeah, it's basically impossible for someone to be standing there. Alright, so basements are already creepy, but this footage, it just takes things to a whole new level. A homeowner set up a night vision camera in their basement after hearing these weird scratching and banging noises for weeks. The video shows this dark, cluttered basement, and honestly, for a while nothing really happens. Then you hear it. A faint scratching sound coming from the far corner of the room, behind a stack of old boxes. The sound gets louder and more frantic, almost like some animal is trying to claw its way through the concrete wall. Suddenly, a dark, hunched-over shadow kind of pulls itself away from the other shadows in the corner and moves really quickly across the floor. It's definitely not the shadow of a person. It's low to the ground and moves in this jerky, totally inhuman way. As it scurries into another dark part of the basement, a light bulb hanging from the ceiling just starts swinging back and forth, really violently, as if it got hit by something. The scratching stops, and everything falls silent again, leaving you with this deep, unsettling sense of dread. So, if the creepy doll wasn't enough for you, here's a possessed toy to really mess with your head. This video features one of those talking teddy bears that are supposed to be cute and cuddly. But a family claimed the toy would go off on its own and it would say these creepy, distorted things. To prove it, they set up a camera in their kids' playroom. The video shows the bear just sitting on a shelf with a bunch of other toys. The room is totally empty and quiet. You can see the bear is switched off, you can literally see the switch on its back is in the off position. Then, out of nowhere, the bear's electronic voice just crackles to life. But it's not saying its usual pre-programmed phrases. Instead, it lets out this low, demonic-sounding growl, followed by a super distorted, slowed-down hello. Its eyes, which are only supposed to light up when it talks, start flashing red all crazy. Then, it literally jolts forward and falls off the shelf, hitting the floor with a loud thud. The family who filmed this got rid of the toy right away, and honestly, I think we can all agree that was the right call. This one is pure audio, and sometimes what you can't see is even scarier. So there was this couple listening to their baby monitor after putting their infant down for a nap. Their baby was sleeping peacefully, but the monitor was picking up another sound in the room. It was a faint, raspy whisper. They turned up the volume, and what they heard sent chills down their spine. A deep, gravelly voice was whispering directly into the monitor's microphone. The voice wasn't saying anything clear at first, just hushed, unintelligible sounds. But then, you can distinctly hear it whisper, "He's a cute one." The parents, horrified, ran into the nursery. The room was empty, the windows were locked, and there was no one there besides their sleeping baby. They checked their house from top to bottom and found nothing. The only evidence of the terrifying intrusion was the chilling audio captured by the baby monitor, a voice from nowhere, right next to their child. Mirrors have always been a source of superstition, and this video shows why. So a woman is filming herself in her bathroom mirror, just testing out a new phone camera. She's smiling and making faces, just messing around. The bathroom is well lit, and you can clearly see the entire room behind her in the reflection. She turns her head to the side to check the camera angle, and for a split second, another face appears in the mirror right behind her shoulder. It's the pale, gaunt face of an old woman with hollow eyes and stringy gray hair. It's there for less than a second before it vanishes. The woman filming doesn't see it happen in real time. She only discovered it when she played the video back, and her scream of terror when she finally notices it is completely genuine. She pans the camera around the empty bathroom, showing she is completely alone. But for a brief moment, the mirror showed a different story. Our final video is some of the most famous and disturbing paranormal footage ever recorded. It's security footage from a hotel elevator, showing a young woman acting incredibly strangely. She enters the elevator, but it doesn't move. She presses multiple buttons, but the doors stay open. Then she starts peering out of the elevator, looking nervously down the hallway as if she's hiding from someone. She darts back into the corner of the elevator, clearly terrified. Her behavior becomes more and more erratic. She steps out of the elevator, looks both ways down the hall, and then jumps back in. She begins making strange, contorted gestures with her hands, as if she's talking to someone who isn't there. At one point, it looks like she is being pulled or pushed by an unseen force. After a few minutes of this terrifying display, she walks out of the elevator and is never seen again. The elevator doors then close and open several times on their own. This case remains a mystery, and the footage is absolutely haunting. And that's it. 12 of the most terrifying videos I have ever seen. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely going to be sleeping with the lights on tonight, and maybe for the rest of the week. From ghosts and shadows to possessed objects and mysterious figures, this footage challenges our perception of reality. It's easy to be a skeptic from the comfort of your home during the day, but when you're alone in the dark, these images will come back to haunt you. So, maybe just do a quick check under your bed before you try to sleep tonight. You never know what might be waiting there. I warned you at the beginning that these videos were genuinely scary, and I hope we delivered on that promise of a sleepless night. The world is a strange place, and maybe there are things out there that we just can't explain. Or maybe you have a perfectly logical explanation for every single clip we showed. Either way, I want to know what you think. Which one of these videos got to you the most? Was it the face in the window? The voice on the baby monitor? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for being brave and watching until the end. If you enjoyed being terrified, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we have so much more insane content coming your way. Share this video with a friend you want to scare, and remember to stay safe out there. Don't look in any mirrors in the dark, and maybe avoid elevators for a while. I'll see you in the next video, if you can make it through the night.